what it was. I was folding laundry. Just standing there in the quiet of a regular afternoon, folding laundry, and it arrived. This thought. This clear, unhurried, completely certain thought. And the thought was, I want to fold her laundry too. I know how that sounds. Out of all the romantic things a person could think, out of all the sweeping declarations and profound realizations available to the human heart, I landed on laundry. But stay with me, because this is actually the most romantic thing I am going to say to you tonight, if you let it be. Because what I meant, what that thought actually contained when I looked at it honestly, was not about laundry at all. It was about ordinariness. It was about wanting to be so woven into your daily life that even the unremarkable parts of your existence have me in them. Not just the candlelit parts, not just the occasions and the celebrations and the moments worth photographing, the Tuesday afternoon parts, the nothing special, just another day. This is simply our life parts. I want those. I want them more than I want the grand gestures, more than I want the mountaintop moments, more than I want anything that looks impressive from the outside, but doesn't actually feel like home from the inside. Because that is what I want with you. Home, a real one. Not a place. I have lived in enough places to know that four walls and a roof are not what makes something home. I mean the feeling, the specific, irreplaceable feeling of being somewhere that holds you, somewhere that knows you, somewhere you can walk into at the end of the hardest day, in the worst version of yourself, with nothing left to give and nothing left to perform, and still be completely welcome. I want to be that for you. I want us to be that for each other. A home that is not a place but a choice we make every single day, to come back, to stay, to hold each other in the ordinary light of an ordinary life and find it beautiful, because we are in it together. I want to talk about the future in the most specific way I know how. Not the vague, beautiful, abstract future that sounds good in speeches and means very little in practice. The actual future. The one made of real days and real seasons and real versions of both of us that we cannot entirely predict right now, because we are still becoming them. I want to talk about who we are going to be in 5 years, in 10, in the long middle stretch of a life that has moved past the beginning and not yet arrived at the end. Because that is where most love either deepens into something extraordinary or quietly hollows out into something that looks like love from the outside, but has lost its living center. And I absolutely refuse to let that happen to us. So here is what I am committing to specifically, in the real future that is coming toward us whether we are ready or not. I am committing to still choosing you when choosing you is inconvenient, when life is demanding and work is hard, and I am tired in a way that goes deeper than sleep can fix. In those moments, I am committing to turning toward you instead of away, to making you the place I bring my exhaustion instead of the person I protect myself from by pretending I am fine. That is a specific and important distinction, and I want you to understand that I know the difference. I have made the mistake before of protecting myself in relationships by performing wellness, by showing up as the composed version and keeping the struggling version private. And what that does over time is create a distance that looks like strength, but is actually just loneliness with better posture. I will not do that with you. I will bring you the struggling version. I will trust you with it, and I am asking you to trust me with yours. I am committing to your dreams the way I commit to my own. This matters to me enormously, and I want to say it plainly so there is no ambiguity about it. Your ambitions, your hopes, the things you lie awake thinking about, the version of your future that lives in the most honest part of your imagination, those things are not secondary to mine. They are not the supporting storyline to my main one. They are the whole point as much as anything I want for myself. And any life we build together will be built around both of us becoming fully who we are meant to be. I will never ask you to make yourself smaller so I can feel larger. I will never be threatened by your becoming. I will be the person in the front row, every single time, the one who already knows every word before the performance begins, because I was there in all the rehearsals, in all the doubt, in all the 2 a.m. moments when you were not sure you could do it. I will be there for all of those, and then I will be there when you do it anyway, and I will feel prouder of you in that moment than I have ever felt of anything in my life. I am committing to honesty even when honesty is costly. This is maybe the hardest one, because there are moments in every relationship when the kind thing and the honest thing appear to be in conflict, and a person has to choose. And I have watched people choose kindness over honesty in those moments, thinking they were protecting someone they love, and I have watched what it costs over time. The slow accumulation of unspoken truths that eventually becomes a wall neither person knows how to climb. I will not build that wall with you. I will find a way to be honest and kind at the same time, because I believe those two things are not actually opposites. They only feel that way when we are being lazy with our words or scared of the reaction. I will take the time to find the words. I will be willing to sit in the discomfort of a hard conversation rather than choose the temporary ease of avoiding it. And I will ask you to do the same for me. I will ask you to tell me the truth even when you think I might not want to hear it, because I would always rather know. Always. There is nothing you could honestly tell me that is worse than the feeling of realizing I was not trusted with the truth. I am committing to your body and your health and your well-being with the same seriousness that I commit to loving your mind and your heart and your soul. Because love that only shows up for the emotional and spiritual parts of a person is incomplete love. You are not just your feelings and your thoughts. You are also the body that carries all of it. The body that gets tired and gets sick and needs rest and needs nourishment and needs to be treated with the same tenderness that I would give any precious and irreplaceable thing. I will ask you how you are sleeping. I will notice when you have not eaten properly, and I will do something about it, without making you feel managed or monitored. Just cared for, simply and genuinely cared for, the way everyone deserves to be cared for by the person who loves them. I will hold your hand in waiting rooms. I will sit beside you in the difficult medical appointments, and the overwhelming moments, and the days when your body is not cooperating, and your patience with it is running thin. I will never make you feel alone in the experience of having a body that sometimes makes things harder than they should be. And I want to receive the same from you. I want to say that clearly, because I think sometimes the way I present myself makes people assume I do not need caring for, that I am self-sufficient enough to not require the kind of gentle attention I am describing. That is not true. I need it. I need to be asked how I am and to have the second question ready, the one that comes after I say fine, the one that says, no really, how are you? I need to be fed when I forget to eat, because I have gone too deep into something and lost track of time. I need to be pulled gently back into my body when I have been living too much in my head. I need someone who knows the difference between the silence that means I am okay and the silence that means I am not, and who responds to each one appropriately. I believe you are that person. I believe with a certainty that surprises me with its steadiness that you are exactly that person for me. There is something else I want you to understand about what I am offering you, and it is this. I am not asking you to complete me. I want to be very clear about that, because I think that framing, the idea that a romantic partner is supposed to be the missing piece, the thing that makes you finally whole, I think that framing puts an unfair and unsustainable weight on love. I am not a half looking for my other half. I am a whole person, complicated and imperfect and still becoming, offering myself to another whole person, asking not to be completed but to be companioned. There is a profound difference. Completion suggests that without you I am lacking something essential. Companionship says I am capable on my own, and I choose you anyway. Not out of need but out of desire. Not because I cannot survive without you but because surviving without you, while possible, would be so much less than what surviving with you could be. I choose you not because you fill a hole, but because you add a dimension. Because the world is a different place when you are in it with me. Because my own life, which was already a life, becomes something richer and more interesting and more worth living when I get to share it with you. That is what I am asking you to be. Not my salvation, not my missing piece. My person, the one I tell things to first. The one I look for in a room when something funny happens. The one whose opinion I want before anyone else's. whose presence changes the quality of an experience simply by being in it, whose absence on an ordinary day creates a specific and noticeable quiet that nothing else quite fills. I have been that quiet. I have lived in that specific absence, and I know exactly what it feels like, and I am done with it. I am done with the version of my life that does not have you properly in it. I am done with the almost and the not quite and the someday. I am standing here, on this side of all the honesty and all the confession and all the two things you needed to understand, and I am telling you that I am ready, completely, unreservedly, without one remaining corner of hesitation. I am ready, ready to build something real with you, ready to show up in all the ways I have described, and some ways I have not thought of yet, because they will only become clear when we are actually living the life. When the details reveal themselves the way details always do, slowly and specifically and in ways that cannot be entirely anticipated. And so now we are finally here. Now we have arrived at the moment I have been carrying toward you through everything else. And I want you to feel the ground beneath you right now. I want you to feel how solid it is, how real this moment is, how completely and permanently true everything that is about to happen is going to be. I want you to be in your body for this. I want you to feel it not just in your mind but in your chest, in your hands, in that deep and wordless place inside you that recognizes truth before your brain has finished processing it. I want you to know that I rehearsed this moment 100 times, and every single rehearsal fell apart, because no version of it felt equal to what I actually feel. No arrangement of words seemed large enough or honest enough or close enough to the real thing living inside me. And so I decided to stop rehearsing and simply arrive here, with you, in whatever words come naturally, trusting that the feeling behind them will carry what the words alone cannot. Trusting you to receive not just the language, but the intention beneath it. Trusting us, this thing we have built between us, to hold the weight of what I am about to ask you. Just you, in this moment, with everything I have just said still warm in the air between us, and everything I feel still wide open in my chest with nowhere left to hide. I am here, completely here, more here than I have ever been in my life.